Brown has been diagnosed with bipolar disorder and post-traumatic stress syndrome. I think his diagnosis is overdue. We can kind of tell with the fights and stuff he had been through that something was going on. But mental health issues is something that the black community just seems not to get into.
It's real.
And I'm glad that, you know, he's still in rehab. The judge ordered him to stay. He has a court date coming up in a couple of weeks. But he's ordered to stay in there, and he's going to get the help he needs, man. That's how I look at it.
I was going to say, some people might try to say it's a scapegoat or something, but when you look back at his whole career and the way he's act out, it rings of
bipolar disorder. And actually, not because it was Chris Brown, but yesterday I was in Barnes & Noble. That's what I do. I'm a geek. I like to read and stuff like that. And there's a very good book that a lot of people who are dealing with family members who are bipolar should get. It's called The Bipolar Disorder Survival Guide, What You and Your Family Needs to Know by David J. Molosky, PhD. It's a good book. And I was just reading some stuff in there, and it was telling you about but they need to know, because the mood swings, the mania, the triggers.
And then will you call it a bad day? Because it's so over left and over right. It's never in the middle.
Exactly.
You go from one extreme to the next. Some people do call it off as like, I had a bad day.
Exactly. And then the suicidal thoughts that some people with bipolar disorder have. And here's the thing I think is good why he's still in the hospital, because most people, when they go to hospitals and they get diagnosed with bipolar, they go and they stay maybe about 3 days if they're Baker acted or something like that. And then the doctor gives them medication and send them home, when really you need a psychiatrist to sit down with you and tell you what you're taking in, how it's going to affect your mood, what each medication is, and what it's going to do to you, because you're still going to be, have these triggers and these things, and you'll be able to kind of know those episodes before they come. So it's something, if y'all got mental health illness, if the doctor say, hey, if you had a nervous breakdown or something, anything, take your medication, man, and then be one-on-one with your psychiatrist. And
the post-traumatic stress thing, that could be because I talk about having the strength to know that something is wrong.
Yeah.
We always said it's never a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength to know that something is wrong and I need help, and I can't sometimes self-medicate myself. I can't take the street drugs. I can't drink. I can't sleep the whole day away thinking things will get better.
Self-medicating. A lot of people smoke weed, try to do drugs to get out of those symptoms. But I think this is something, that the judges want him to stay in rehab. His mom does too.
And how long... When we were talking about the post-traumatic, stress, the post-stress, whatever that, and I was trying to figure out, because some of the times you think it only will happen if you're in the military, and that's not the case. Things happen in your childhood that you try to block out, or that you never really gotten over, and it goes into your adulthood, and then you end up hurting somebody or hurting yourself because you don't know.
Yeah, a lot of people have to deal with their childhood issues. I know y'all love her now, but when I used to watch her when she wasn't so big, now she said this, Iyanla Vanzant, she said this: if you don't heal the wounds of your past, you will continue to bleed. If you don't heal the wounds of your past, you will continue to bleed. And many of us are going into new jobs, new relationships, new areas in life, and we're bleeding on all these relationships and different experiences because we haven't healed the wound of our past, and we want to blame everybody else, but we got to deal with our own issues.
Don't make me shout it here.
But Iyanla Vanzant said that in the early 2000s.
And you blame it on everybody else, and you're saying everybody's the same. No, everybody's different. You're the same.
Yeah. You're the same, because if you move in state to state, going to different jobs, getting into different relationships, and it's the same thing, you got to deal with you, man. You got to. And I'm happy that he's dealing with himself. I think more celebrities and more people need to deal with these issues.
And if you didn't have the stress before you became a celebrity, being a celebrity can bring it, can cause it.
Exactly.
So you're talking about having this from a child, and then shoot, because when he started, how old was he? About 14.
Yeah, he was very young.
So he was young. So he came into all this notoriety, all of this fame, dealing with the media.
I know mom wants him to stay in rehab now, but mom got to take her part in it too. These stage parents and everything else, they got to take their part in it too, because these people are good when they're bringing money, but when they have these addictions and stuff like that,
off or tell you,
exactly.
No, I'm not.
Then everybody wants them to get help.
Justin Bieber, honey, that's a whole nother
Justin
story.
Bieber, with him too, and all these other things. People even said things about other celebrities who you can tell, wasn't it? Lindsay Lohan had a problem too. All of them, I don't know. It's just something.
And I can see fame because the fame that I have. But I can see fame can drive you to do some things you would never have. It could break you down. You can have a mental breakdown.
You could have a mental breakdown. Yeah, you're right.
Trying to please everybody.
Yeah.
Stress from finances. People lying. People cheating you out of your money.
Yeah.
It's a lot of stuff that will have you break down mentally. And sometimes you don't even come back from that breakdown.
Exactly, because a lot of times they're putting all their trust in the people, but I will stress this till like I'm blue in the face or whatnot. You got to surround yourself around the right people. I don't care who you are. We have a choice of the people we want to hang around, and our self-esteem cannot be so low or not have any self-worth that we just hang around anybody because they got the nice cars, they're the ballers, they're this and all this kind of stuff, and we're trying to kind of get that. You have to be okay with who you are, and those people who are always trying to fit in, trying to be, like just in that in crowd, they always end up down.
I went to school for 8 years to be a doctor and all of this stuff, and you're not gonna ride off my success either.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
You're gonna do what you need to do to get where I am.
Exactly. Why don't they know who is on their team or not? Having these yes men and yes women, you need to know. So we hope Chris gets the help he needs and everybody else, man. But remember, mental health illness is something that's definitely serious, and we need to talk about that more on the show because it's something in our community that's out of control.
Without balance, things will tilt over.
All the time. So we happy Chris getting the help he needs, and hopefully he surrounds himself with the right people who are going to help him and not hinder him, man. Seriously. Until next time, I'm your guy Dawson.
And I'm Denise. Aren't you guys glad to see me?
After all this time. Thank you guys for watching. Take care of yourself.
And others.
Peace.